It is time for a brand new round of box office predictions, and I couldn't be happier to be home sweet home with this little guy right here. I miss Dewey so much. I miss being on the set. I was really bummed that I rushed my predictions going into Sundance because, as you guys know, last weekend I didn't do too well, but thankfully I have turned things around. I am back on track. I am back home. Feeling pretty good right now. But before we roll into our new predictions for the weekend, got a little recapping to do, of course. And first, Fantasy Movie League. Whole ton of players in the league, but just one of them got that perfect lineup, and that one winner is King Devil. Huge congratulations, King Devil. You are not only at the top of the charts for this particular week of play, but King Devil is also our top contender overall, so keep it up. Maybe you'll win the season and get some super cool prizes. I actually did pretty well myself. I came in at number 26. I wound up betting big on Bumblebee, which was the best performer of the week, really helped me out. And now, going into my top 5, I did pretty good there too. I went 4 for 5, feeling good about that number. Of course, we had Glass topping the charts again with a little more than I expected, snagging another $9.5 million. Then it was The Upside, which took the 2 spot with another $8.7 million. Miss Bala opened up at number 3 with $6.9 million. Then it was Aquaman, which earned another $4.9 million. And now here's where things got a little mixed up for my predictions. It was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse that took the 5 spot with $4.5 million, but Green Book wasn't all that far behind. It did wind up coming in at number 6 with $4.3 million. High hopes I can continue doing pretty well this weekend because we've got a big weekend ahead of us after an especially slow Super Bowl weekend, and we've got a potential new juggernaut entering the race in the Lego Movie 2, the second part. But before we get to that, we've got to kick things off with my number 5 pick, and this time around, I'm actually going with The Upside for this position. Last weekend, The Upside and Glass were so close together, and at this point, I think The Upside has proven that between those two movies, it's the one with the longer legs, which is why I have them switching positions this weekend. With The Upside, last weekend, it added nearly 200 additional theaters. Given the fact that they're likely not going to add more theaters this time around, I do think we're in for a little bit of a bigger percent change here, but even if The Upside posts its biggest drop of its run thus far, I still think we're talking about a minimal drop of maybe 35%, and if that's what the movie winds up losing, it's still making another $5.6 million. Now it is on to my number 4 pick, and that's where I have one of our newcomers. It's The Prodigy. It's a horror movie, and at this point in time, its ticket sales aren't looking too hot. But what I do tend to notice with the genre is things start slow and then they pop as we near or enter the weekend, and I do think that's going to happen a little bit here. Of course, we have Orion distributing the movie. They aren't really known for wide releases or big money makers, and looking at their track record, one of their last wide releases was the movie Every Day. That movie got a little over 1,600 theaters, and it wound up closing at its first weekend with $6 million. In The Prodigy's case, it's getting 2,500 theaters, so I do think we're going to see a higher number. I don't think it's going to hit double digits, though. I've got The Prodigy closing out its first weekend in theaters with $7 million even. Now it's time for my number 3 pick, and I have yet another new release in this spot. We're talking about Cold Pursuit. Clearly, Liam Neeson isn't in the best shape right now, and I don't think Cold Pursuit's opening weekend number is going to help him out at all. So with Liam Neeson movies that tend to come out in, let's say, February and January, I feel like just about everything there is always trying to be the next Taken. And when you look at his recent track record, other than a movie that fits in the Taken franchise, a lot of them haven't done so hot. Particularly, I look at something like Run All Night and also The Commuter. When Run All Night opened up, it made $11 million, and then we can look at The Commuter, which opened up with 13.7. In the case of Cold Pursuit, I think it is coming in under both of them. One, because of how current ticket sales look. 2, because of the poor marketing campaign, and 3, I think all the buzz around Liam Neeson right now is really not going to help. So I'm going to give this one an opening weekend number lower than both of those and say this one is opening up with $9 million to start. Now it is on to the number 2 position, and yet another newcomer is landing in this spot. It is the new Taraji P. Henson movie, What Men Want. At this point in time, I'm basically looking at this one as though it's the next upside in a way of 2019, at least as far as its opening weekend number goes. When I was looking at the upside, I was considering Kevin Hart's track record and his ability to draw a crowd, and I think Taraji P. Henson has the same thing when it comes to her movies. So looking at What Men Want, we have Taraji P. Henson, we have a very catchy concept, and also she's got a solid supporting cast around her, including Tracy Morgan. So I think all of that is working in its benefit, plus the fact that this movie is coming hot on the heels of a very slow Super Bowl weekend. So whereas the upside opened with something like about $20 million, I think this movie is topping that, especially adding in how the ticket sales are going thus far. All of that in mind, I think I want to give What Men Want an opening weekend of $25 million. And now it is time for that number 1 spot, a total no-brainer. We are talking about the Lego Movie 2, the second part. The big question with this one is, can Lego Movie 2 actually match the first Lego Movie? When that first one came out, it made almost $70 million opening weekend, a huge start. Things came down a good deal with Lego Batman, which only made about $53 million opening weekend, and then after that, it kind of plummeted with Lego Ninjago, which only took $20.4 million opening weekend. Part 2 is not going to wind up being the next Lego Ninjago, but I do think it could open pretty much in line with Lego Batman, especially considering the fact that Spider-Verse is dwindling a little bit, and I'd like to bet that a lot of families out there are looking for a new animated film to see. So right now, I'm going with a $50 million opening for the Lego Movie 2, the second part. It is time to recap now. I've got the Lego Movie 2 topping the charts with $50 million. What Men Want following behind with $25 million. Number 3 is Cold Pursuit with $9 million. I've got my number 4 going to The Prodigy with $7 million. And then finally, The Upside, closing out my top 5 with $5.6 million of its own. Those are my predictions. Now you know what to do. Hit that comment section below, leave your top 5s right there, and then head on over to Fantasy Movie League, lock those lineups. Award season is winding down now, and I'm curious to see if anyone can stop King Devil, so go give it a shot there. And of course, we've got Patreon shoutouts to give, and this is a great group. These 3 individuals, Craig, Robert, and Kaiser, are all brand new to the PNemi Patreon team, and I'm so happy they're here. And then we've also got Wessel and Seth, who are back for their second month of supporting the Patreon campaign. You guys, thank you so much. You need to get used to hearing this because I'm going to keep thanking you over and over because it means a lot that you want to support me and Dewey wherever he is off to right now, doing what we love so much. I really hope you're enjoying all this content. Another thank you to you guys on the Patreon squad, and also a huge thanks to everybody watching. Please like and share, and then tune in next weekend to see how we all did on our box office predictions.